In the US, the outcome of the El Chapo trial was headline news, but the verdict on the man who for a decade symbolized organized crime in Mexico barely caused a ripple in his homeland. Some newspapers found space for him on their front pages, but the president's daily press conference was an hour in before anyone troubled to bring him up. The response was little more than a morality tale.
It's a lesson that real happiness isn't money or material things, cheap luxury and fame. Real happiness is being at peace with your conscience and with your neighbor.
Even the juicy trial testimony alleging that Joaquin Guzman slipped Mexico's ex-president a $100 million bribe couldn't make him bite.
We can punish past errors, but the best thing to do is to avoid future crimes. I'm a believer in looking forward and starting a new era.
The Sinaloa cartel, of which Joaquin Guzman was a prominent leader, seems a big believer in that too. After his fall, it simply got on with its lucrative business, processing and shipping vast amounts of drugs.
In spite of El Chapo's arrest and conviction now, really organized crime is as was in Mexico before. So what we need to understand is that cartels, so-called cartels, do not function as top-down vertical organizations which can be eradicated by eradicating the guy on top. They are more to be understood as alliances, complex alliances of different groups, different clans, different interests. And if you take out one guy, it doesn't mean that the whole structure will crumble.
That's perhaps why the new president has said his priority won't be to go after kingpins. In his time, Joaquin Guzman was undoubtedly the most famous of them all. He escaped prison twice and went from poverty to the Forbes rich list. It brought him respect. To some, he was an outlaw hero. But that's just part of his legacy. The other is his involvement in a brutal drug war that's seen hundreds of thousands of Mexicans killed and many others dumped unidentified in mass graves across the country. And that's what many grieving families here are more likely to remember him for. John Holman, Al Jazeera, Mexico City.